What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about SoundHound. I want to give you a quick overview of some of the data points, what really moved it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So SoundHound did go down 1.52%. I think in general, everyone kind of knew that it was going to be a fairly volatile day. No stock just runs up 20-something% without some sort of profit taking, and especially SoundHound, it's gone up a hell of a lot more than just that. So over the last 5 days, at 42.73%, over the last 1 month, 218. Broader market was largely red today in fears of what Powell might say tomorrow, as well as PCE on Friday, then also GDP Thursday. So you had a lot of things influencing broader market. So the fact that SoundHound was able to fight back, that's very impressive. So $17.66 a low, $19.85 the high. So it did come very close to a new, 52-week and all-time high again, but 97.3 million in volume, 78.23 is the average. These are some of the transactions that did occur on the secondary market, and very, very impressive stuff. So 9.7, 9.7, 1.4, 1 million. This is very big stuff. So 44.2 million, so not chump change, big money legitimately getting into SoundHound. So I think in reality, one of the biggest attributing factors why SoundHound did go down was algorithmic trading really pushing it down, as well as shorts. I'll go over that in a second, but pretty impressive stuff. You did see this is kind of what brought it down a little bit. So a string of buying first thing, so hitting it hard and fast. But shorts, they did increase 4.48 million shares, and 25.3% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 83.07 million shares. You also see some cost to borrow minimum being negative. So that does mean that there is a broker out there physically paying people to short SoundHound. So there's a lot going on, like I said, a lot of manipulation, and even during SoundHound's kind of rally over the last 1 month, up 218%, shorts have been holding like crazy. They've been losing a ton of money, but at the same time, they are really confident that SoundHound is poised to go down. Nothing coming from the company itself today, but there was a couple Form 4s and 144s that was done after hours. So it's back at it. This is one thing I absolutely hate about SoundHound is their directors. They're just, I don't know. And I get it. I always like to play devil's advocate and say, you know what, some people need money. This is how people get money, like the directors, board members, like that is their salary. But strategically selling, like people just look at this and see nothing but selling. It is just very, very unfortunate. And it'd be different if you had the occasional buy and whatever else, but this just shows a lot of selling. So you did have a couple, so it was done on, this one was on the 12th, so it was very delayed for filing. They're supposed to be within 2 days, but this was transaction code S, so straight up sell. This one was 25,000 shares. Aside from that, you had a couple 144s, so this was done yesterday. 138,000 shares sold, and this one was this individual, Michael whatever their last name is. This one was James, who is a director and officer, 258,000. This was done yesterday. So it's not the best. Of course, I think they're just trying to get it in just before year end, because when it comes down to year end, that's where blackout periods are kind of locked and loaded. So entities can't sell nor can they buy unless they do it through that 10b/5 plan or whatever else. So I think they're just maybe taking money, taking advantage of the high prices possibly, but it's hopefully this doesn't really dampen the sentiment a little bit. But these were submitted after hours today, as you can kind of see. So at 5:39, 4:39, and the market so far isn't really liking it because it's down another 1.75%. So insiders really need to get their crap together. I did reach out to the investor relations for SoundHound. I want to try and do an interview, and that's one thing I'm going to bring up. Of course, I know they can't outright say it, but it'd be good to let them know that, hey, maybe you should speak to your board members, directors, and like let them know that this is really hurting the sentiment a little bit. And shorts already are a very big problem for the stock. you don't really want to feed them like ammunition. You don't want to give them any reason to be able to double down, and insider selling is not the best. So all in all, a lot of stuff happening with SoundHound, but 37 million in calls, 7.25 million in puts. 47% of all the options being done today were optimistic in nature, and of the call options that were purchased, you see a consensus for it to be still above that 20, if not possibly around that $21-22 range. So a lot of optimism still on the table. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub roughly around $14, give or take. And as you can kind of see, I wanted to share this with you. Very positive news. They did open up more chains. So I recently did a video saying that they opened up, I think it was up to $32, if I remember correctly. But regardless, now they opened up to $39. So they do feel realistically $39 could be coming to fruition. So just wanted to share that with you. But as of right now, with it at 1939, trading between this R3 and this R2, so 1847 will be a strong support that you'll want to watch for it to hold. $20.22 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. No new analyst ratings, but one thing I do want to share with you though is this very bullish rating that did come out from 𝗪𝗓𝗧 from Wedbush yesterday, $22 buy rating. There typically is a couple copycat ratings or analysts, and that's very apparent on Palantir. So 𝗪𝗓𝗧 was very bullish early on, and so I feel like now a lot of people just generally copy his ratings. So you might see actually some very brand new analysts starting to cover SoundHound because of him. So his rating, he might bring in more and more attention. So generally I think that's kind of a good thing. But looking on the actual technicals itself, so it was showing some signs of breaking down, but it did bounce off that ALMA. I'll make this a little bit bigger, but as I've shared with you, the technicals look very good. The only negative side of that is just the fact that it's now rather overbought. So anything coming out on a macro standpoint or SoundHound, you're going to see a lot of volatility. But then again, SoundHound has ran up quite a lot in a short time period. So that's just, you have to be prepared for a lot more volatility. So let me know your thoughts on SoundHound. Give yourself a shout out in the comments below where you see things going. I did also do a update post on my Patreon. So in case you don't know, I have a Patreon where I'm giving buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. I like to do roughly around 2 or 3 a day. So definitely pop over there. Link in the description below and also the comments. There's been tons of bangers, including yours truly. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and give yourself a shout out if you've been buying, if you've been selling, have you been dabbling with, for instance, options, and actually while I'm actually talking, what is your viewpoint on the insider selling? I know some people just see it as whatever, but to me, I think one thing, especially for at this stage, like a spec play, momentum play, you need the sentiment to be rather positive. So you can't have this type of crap happening as much as it is. So what's your viewpoint on all that? So with all that, I appreciate all of you watching, and you guys have a good rest of the day.